You're listening to a Leisure Moment podcast with your host, Deetra Helvey, who's always ready to have a casual conversation about her love for literature.
What a quick and informative casual conversation with Christina Hobbs and Lauren Billings, better known as the author Christina Lauren. It doesn't take long to warm up to the powerhouse duo and talk about all things regarding their entertaining, beautiful series published by Gallery Books. Their next book, Beautiful Secret, will be on the shelf by the time you hear their story. Their passion for writing, their passion for their characters, and their passion for the process in general. They are on the move and creating storyline after storyline about the characters they love. Enjoy.
Hello.
Christina?
Yes, hello.
Hello, this is Deetra. Lauren, are you there?
I am.
Okay, okay, awesome. Well, Skype sometimes has its little glitches, so thank you so much for bearing with me tonight. Are you guys ready?
We are. Yes, we are.
Okay, awesome. I realize that you guys are super busy, and so I want to just welcome you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Well, I am super excited about having this casual conversation with you guys this evening. Yara, unfortunately, was unable to join us, and she sends her regards as well. She loves you guys. So, a leisure moment and Once Upon a Twilight, we love to team up together when we can. And you guys have some exciting things coming up. April the 14th, you have Beautiful Secret coming out.
That's right. Yes, we do.
One of the things that, I love when talking to authors is that sometimes it's a book about something that I may fangirl over, or it's a book that I've never even heard of. So I am super excited to know that, this is a book that a series that I follow. I can't wait to read about what you have in store for us with this next novel in your series.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we really love this one. This is the fourth full-length book in the series. There's also 4 novellas, I guess. Yeah. Oh, 3. No, there's 4. There's Bitch, Bombshell, Beginning, and Be Beloved. Oh, right.
Y'all,
4.
y'all are super busy. And sometimes as a blogger, we aren't able to do a lot of rereading, but I have a confession to make. Just to really prepare me for this book that's coming out, we have that wonderful thing called Audible. And so I
love Audible. I love Audible.
Audible can get me in trouble because I can just go in there and just click and purchase. And so for the last 2 weeks, I've been binge listening. How about that?
No, I believe it. Our audiobooks are great. They do a really good job casting them. And actually, it's funny that you mention it because this is Lo speaking, by the way. But for Beautiful Secret, the main male character is Niall Stella, and he's Max Stella's brother. And in the audiobook, Max Stella was initially and always narrated by Jonathan Cole, and he has his own following now because his voice is so ridiculously sexy, and so we really, really wanted him for Niall. And his schedule is nuts for his other job, and so we weren't sure we were going to be able to get him, but he really wanted to do it, and so he made it work, and so we cannot wait. I seriously can't wait to hear him as Niall.
Well, I am so glad that you guys were able to make it happen because, yes, it sounds wonderful. It really, really does. And the best thing about it is with Audible books, you can just have them and, put them on repeat and listen to them over and over again. So, and you mentioned Niall. So tell me a little bit about, you described him on your website as classically stiff upper lip, a mind for engineering, and no clue when it comes to women. When did you know that it was time for Niall, who is Max's brother, to join the beautiful family?
Oh gosh, that's a good question.
I mean, because I'm excited.
I think after Beautiful Secret came out, we knew we wanted to do. A lot of people asked about his brother because he was mentioned specifically. Mm-hmm. So he was one that we kind of like a little Easter egg we tossed out. to see if that was the one that people would want to read about. And we had a lot of friends asking for Niall's story. So
Yes.
I think I fell in love with him the moment he held his new niece.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And just that nurturing feel. And so to find out that he's next in line for his own story is just pretty exciting. I want to mention you have a Facebook fan. Her name is Jill, and she states, I could hardly fall asleep after reading chapters 1 and 2 of Beautiful Secret last night, and that's with only having to wait 4 days for the book. I'm having an internal struggle. Should I read this and be tortured until Dark Wild Night comes out this fall, which is another series you guys are working on? Who am I kidding? I'll read it. And I think one of you guys said, do it. You know, with sneak peeks, that's something very popular. How do you decide what you're willing to give your readers before the big day?
This one was a little different because we, I don't think we would normally give something this far out. I mean, for that reason, and also because sometimes things change. But this was something, and I'm going to get the name of the contest wrong, but Sweet Filthy Boy was in the, what is it, Lo? It's the DAB.
The Dabwaha.
What is it?
The DABWAHA. It's like the March Madness for romance. Yeah. Yeah.
So there were, I think 84 books, 86 books or something, and Sweet Filthy Boy got down to like the final 8, which we were floored by.
64, yeah.
Yeah, 64 books, yeah.
Okay.
So we had told our readers, you know, if we can get them through here, we'll write this. If we can get them through here, we'll write this. And then for that last one, we had said that we would give, you know, a sneak peek of Lola and Oliver and another Will and Hannah outtake, and there were a couple other things. And we were just like, I mean, we were shocked at how our readers turned out. We just never anticipated that they would be so excited and so many of them would show up to vote. And so we were just like, we were so proud and grateful. And so that's how we decided that we would give that. And that is actually one of my favorite scenes. Lo wrote that scene. And I remember the very first time I wrote it, or that I read it, I just was like, oh my God. So I'm glad that we got to give that one.
And you talked about, you just mentioned writing scenes. What inspired the two of you to write a book series together? I mean, because really, for me, you're the only authors that I know of that I follow greatly, 2 authors that write such a wonderful series. What inspired you to write a series together?
Well, we got our start in fan fiction. We were writing fic together. And so we collaborated on a short one-shot in the Twilight fandom. And it was really fun to write together. The one-shot that we wrote was called A Little Crazy. It's now up on Wattpad with original names. And so a lot of people in the fandom are familiar with that story. But it was just a really fun process. Like, our personalities meshed really well, and we really liked each other's sense of humor. I think that was a lot of it, too, is we really made each other laugh and swoon. And so we decided to start writing books together, and that was back in 2010.
Wow.
And I don't know, I think we just sort of always found it more rewarding than writing alone. Mm-hmm. And so people ask us all the time if we'll ever, write solo. And I mean, we'll never say no because we can't guess that. But I mean, I don't think either of us feel any need to do that because our system works so well and we just have so much fun doing it together. So.
And I think with your...
It's true.
And with your series, with your first book, Bennett and Chloe, we fell in love with Bennett and Chloe, and you've really woven them throughout the entire process. Sometimes you may get those favorite characters that you fall in love with, and boom, they're gone for a little bit or for a while. But, you have so many other Beautiful Bombshell, Beautiful Beginning. When I listened to The Wedding, I thought, oh my goodness, this is great. So, Bennett and Chloe, we fell in love with, and you've continued to have a process where you've, put them in and woven them in throughout. And I think it's just wonderful collaboration between the two of you.
Well, thank you.
And we really love writing those. We love, we have a lot of fun writing those sort of group scenes where we get all of the characters together and stuff. So I think it's as much fun for us to write them as it is for people to read them. We really love doing that.
Do y'all have any specific challenges when you're writing together as a team?
It's hard to think of what the challenges are at this point, only because we've been doing it together for so long that, like, anything that pops up, we kind of anticipate before it happens now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Christina would agree with that, but I mean, like, she tends to freak out a little bit more at the beginning of a book when we're still getting to know the characters. And I tend to freak out when we're about 3/4 of the way through, when I decide, like, everything we've written is terrible. And so
it is.
We sort of each have these reliable freakouts, and in a way, it's almost reassuring to see it every time, because it's like we just have to trust our process, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, I actually feel, somebody asked us recently, like, I want to write a book with my friend, like, do you have any advice for us, and, about how to edit and stuff. And what I told them was, like, the editing piece is the easiest part. Like, you're not going to have the same voice. You're not going to have the same ideas all the time. You're going to take it in different directions. All of that can be worked out with editing and just talking it out. But the most, like, difficult thing, and the thing you can't really control, is the mesh of personalities. And I think that is some place where Christina and I are very lucky, that we just have a really good fit personality-wise, that the things I care about, she's flexible about, or she agrees. The things she really cares about, I'm flexible about, or I agree. And it just, I don't know, it just works really well. So.
And
even if we weren't writing together, we would still be just as close, and I think that that's really important.
Yes. And you it amazes me that you have a series that both of your main adult series, of course, are adult fiction, but that you have 2 books also in the young adult genre as well. And how do you balance the two pieces?
Well, we actually started writing young adult. Our first book, when we started querying for an agent, was a young adult book, and it's just the difference in sort of the speed. They were sort of out at publishers at the same time. It's just a testament to the speed of adult fiction, how fast it moves compared to young adult. That it came out literally like 2 years after it sold, when we'd already been able to like go through all of these adult books. But I think it's really great because when we finish something that's sort of sexy and one of the adult books, it's nice to have that kind of shift in our brain to get to like use other muscles. And we have a lot of fun doing that. So we're really, really lucky that we get, we have an agent that lets us do both, playing both sandboxes, and publishing houses that let us do both, and readers that let us do both. So it's a lot of fun. I love being able to do different things.
How do you juggle traveling, writing, and above all, your family as authors of the Beautiful series and the Wild Season series? You guys are like super busy. How do you juggle it all?
It's not always easy. And, I think what helps us actually is that our first year in 2013, Beautiful Bastard came out in February of that year. Mm-hmm. And Beginning came out in November. So that means in basically, 8 months? 11, no, whatever. Within February to November, we had 6 books come out, and we were both working full time, right? So, and we had kids. So I think that first year, it really was drinking from the fire hose. I mean, we barely, I don't even know, looking back, how we did it. And then we left our jobs December that year and to write full time. And I think even though last year was nuts because we traveled an insane amount, and sidebar, we will not travel that much again. I think having that first year be so crazy sort of let us figure out how to work in these tiny pockets of time, and that we just had to be really structured and really organized. And I think that that's one thing that has worked really well for us, is that we've been really disciplined about like dates and schedule and sticking to deadlines, because if we fall behind on one, it would be a domino. It would be a bad domino effect. So yeah.
Was it hard for you guys to make the decision, knowing that I'm going to move away from the daily job of, corporate America or your full-time jobs to go into full-time writing? Was that decision hard?
It was hard in that, I worked with teenagers, and that was hard for me to leave them. I loved them. Lo is like a PhD neuroscientist, and so she had devoted such a huge chunk of her life to this career. It just came down to which one she found more joy in. And, it was writing. It was kind of something she always wanted to do. And so I think it was hard for her to leave the people and to leave the science, but she can, I suppose you can always do science if you want to.
You can always go back.
That PhD isn't going to expire.
Oh, absolutely not.
I always say that having the degree is like, it's been so helpful because, I really feel like when both of us had these day jobs and we had to organize our lives around this love for writing and this need to make an income and, raise our families and whatnot, it gave us structure. It taught us how to be really organized. So I feel like everything I've learned leading up to this point, I use every day, even if it's not, like writing scientific articles. I feel like I'm still putting all those tools to use. So
that's right. That's right. Well, I tell you, I am so thankful for your time this afternoon. You have a lot of fans that are excited about Nile hitting the shelves and our Kindles and our Nooks on April the 14th. And we hope that this podcast will not only bring in all of your fans, but new fans as well that haven't started the series. We want them to know what they're missing. So thank you for spending some time with us this afternoon and having a leisure moment.
Thank you so much. This was so fun. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I hope we didn't take up too much of your time.
No, this is perfect. This is great.
Okay. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hey, if you enjoyed that episode, let us know on iTunes by giving us a great review. We want to thank all our listeners again. Check us out at aleisuremoment.com. Like us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good one.